What's going on, guys? Today's Saturday. I'm here at my house up in the home office working on a few estimates, and I just thought I'd bring you guys along just to show you kind of what goes into pricing demo jobs or junk removal jobs. Today I'm going to show you a full demo job and how I go about pricing it and sending that estimate, the softwares I use, and just the kind of way I go about coming up with my numbers. So we're up at, like I said, at my house. I've got my computer set up. There's an extra room. So we got a little home gym in here. It's nice not having to drive to the gym every day. So we added this when we did build the house. But I just wanted to kind of bring you guys along with this and just show you what goes into pricing a demo. So this is a house the gentleman's wanting just knocked down and hauled off so he can build the new one. And I'll pull it up on the Google Maps here so you guys can see what all I'm talking about. But first we're gonna go over a few numbers and how we calculate just our yardage and how much we're hauling, and then get a rough idea of the weight. The hardest thing about a demo is figuring your weight. It's so hard, between if it's brick, what the siding is, if there's 2 or 3 layers of shingles. So you gotta look at a bunch of that stuff and kind of just know what you're getting yourself into. A lot of times, a lot of people will send a bid for say $5 to demo something. And then when it's all said and done, your bill's $8 or $9 because they were so far off on the weight. So we do our best, we do our due diligence and try to not have to send a second bill. I've never have yet. I normally just eat it on the chin if I mess up, but I'm gonna just show you the numbers real fast. I wrote them down, and then we'll get into the Google Maps and I'll show you the house and what we're demoing, and then I'll bring you, we use Square for our contracts and everything. So I'll throw that up on the screen and I'll show you guys that. But to start with, this is kind of the just calculations we use to figure out your yardage that you're hauling off of the property. You're gonna do width times length times height. So that's gonna get you your total square footage times 0.33. This goes for airspace, and then divided by 27 is your cubic yards. So for example, if we were to demo this right here, we're only would be hauling off the roof, the walls, the flooring, and what's inside here. So out of this total square footage we come up with, that would be about 1/3 of what, because of the airspace takes up 2/3 of it. So this property, the house is a 30 by 40, 9-foot walls. And then there's a sunroom, 30 by 10 by 9 sunroom, and then a 20 by 20 carport. So the house calculation comes up to 132 yards, sunroom 33 yards. The way we did the carport, it came up with 22 yards. But so we did our 20 by 20 by 9 times 0.33 divided by 27, which is actually 44 yards. This carport is an actual structure, as I'll show you in the picture. It's got shingles and everything, but there's no walls. So instead of using like the full 44 yards, it's not gonna be that much since there is no walls. So I just split that in half. So the total comes up to 187 yards. With a house like this, it's just general house, but it's not vinyl siding. It does have like a wood siding on it. Your kind of range is, a lot of people say like 40 to 50 pounds per square foot. I just go off yardage. A house like this would be around 400 to 500 pounds per yard we're hauling off. So at 187 yards, you're looking roughly 90,000 pounds. So on this one, we'll probably go a little lower than that. I don't see it being that high, so we'll shoot it lower, closer to the 400 pounds per yards. And because he's gonna be removing all the cabinets and a lot of the interior items just to reuse in the next house. So we'll put this one at 40 tons, but we'll get into that more when we go over the bid and all that. So I'm gonna get you guys here on my computer screen so you guys can see, and we'll go over the house and I'll show you all that. So this is the house he's wanting demoed right now. This is a new addition that he added right here. So the plan is to knock this down and this carport, and he's gonna build a new house to go with this. They're gonna make this a temporary living space while they're building the main house. So here's the carport we'd be knocking down, and then we'd be knocking down the house. So like I said, the house is a 30 by 40. I didn't count this right here. And then this is 20 by 20. It's not the easiest demo, being that he's built right next connecting to it, but it's not like super stuck to it, so I think we'll be able to come in here, cut this out first, and then we'll demo all this from this side over. But the main things you want to look at is like it's normal siding, it's nothing special, a little bit of rock, which is cool river rock, so if we can save that we will. But you know, probably rip all the trees out and we'll scrap the compressor. Any steel we find, any copper lines, we'll scrap. But the main thing we're looking at is, you know, it's one layer of shingles. It's not 4 or 5. It's just a general, straightforward construction house. There's nothing that's gonna significantly throw off our weight calculations. So that's it right there. Like I said, pretty simple. It will be a really cool demo if we do get this job, just because this over here is a airstrip. So I figure there'll be planes flying in and out while we're knocking this down with the excavator. Maybe if we get lucky, we make a cool shot of demoing this with the airplane flying in the back. But so we'll pull up the our square, and we will go through the estimate and break everything down. So this is the square estimate. I've already went in. The pages before this is all of his information, which we won't show, but it's really straightforward. We can add in our items right here, and then we can go in, change anything. If we want to add just extra hauling fee, just put in hauling, and then quantity, say it's five loads, and then 100 a load, and then automatically puts 500, and then it'll add your sales tax as well, so you can turn on or off. So it's very simple, very straightforward, super easy to use. So we'll get into kind of this estimate and how it's broke down. So our excavator, we charge $500 a day. I figure this job will take 3 days. So right there, you just put excavator 1 day, so times 3 at $500 a day is $1,500. Our labor is three days to go with the project. We're $800 a day. And that's 2 guys, so it'd be me and 1 helper. So that's what we charge. Comes to about $50 an hour per man hour. And then our equipment transport, I just charged them $100 for this one, just being that it's only 20 minutes down the road, so it's not very far, and our excavator's not some huge machine that I have to have a low boy to move it or anything. We just move it on our own tilt trailer. So just $100 for that. The 18-yard dumpsters, that's our big trailer, which we always figure all of our jobs using the big trailer, even though we might use the 14-yard trailer and the 18, we just figure it like that. So at that 187 yards, we figured 11 dumpsters, and we're just charging him a flat $100 hauling fee per dumpster. So that'll come up to $1,100. Dump fees are $145 per ton. So we figured 40 tons on this job, so $5,800 for that. So then it just comes down, they all add up. So total on this job is gonna be $10,900. At the end of the day from this, you know, obviously we don't see none of the dump fees. That's not going in our pockets. But for us, we're, you know, $1,100 here is what we'll make. 100 here, so we're at $1,200. And then the excavator at $1,500, so $2,700 plus the labor. We pay the guys $25 an hour. That's what I pay myself as well. So half of this would be for the company and half would go to paying our employees. And this doesn't go into all the overhead like insurances and all that. But, you know, off of this job, you can easily going to be making around, you know, let's just see, $1,500 plus $1,200 for half of this. So $2,700, $2,800, $3,900 is what the company will make. So I'm very happy with that. You know, if we can always shoot for the company to make around $1,000 a day. So that extra $900 will cover all of our fuel and any other maintenance or anything we have to do throughout the job. That extra $900 will cover that. And at the end of the day, in 3 days, the company will clear $3,000. So that's kind of that. The square is super simple to use. I've loved it, used it almost 2 years now. They do have a paid for plan you can have, but I don't use it at all. The only benefit I see to the paid for plan is that whenever I send this estimate, if he does accept it, it won't let me add a contract to this estimate. I have to send the contract separate, but it's just 2 different things. Where if you pay for the subscription with Square, you can add it directly to this, which would be nicer that it's all in one email or one text message and not 2, but we don't start work until the contract's signed anyways, so it's not been that big of a deal for us. But yeah, that's kind of how we go about pricing it. Pretty straightforward. You know, we've done it long enough. We have our day rate, our labor, and like I said, at the end of the day, if it takes us 4 days, we're still gonna be fine. So the total demo comes out to $10,900 for this property. The house itself was 1,900 square foot. So if we divide 10,900 divided by 1,900, we get a cost of $5.73 per square foot. I do think that's on the lower side. I do know a lot of guys in town charge around the, $6 to $8 a square foot. But at the end of the day, if my company can walk out clearing $1,000 a day or per working day, obviously we don't work every day, 5 days a week constantly. This is still a smaller company. So if we can make $1,000 a day while we're working for the company itself, that is plenty enough money for us. And then I still get paid and my employees get paid. And at the first, 3 years of this company, we've been open a year and a half now. All that money I'm not touching. I just keep growing the business, putting it back into it, buy more trailers, buy new equipment. And our goal with this company is that one day have the big excavators and dump trucks and all that. So the longer or the more money I take from the company now, the longer it's going to take me to achieve that goal with the company. So that's kind of how I look at it. We've always priced ourselves on the cheaper side of things. I look at it as do a lot of work than do some work. So I'd rather be a little bit cheaper than a lot of guys, do a lot of work in our name. Like I said, it's been a year and a half since we've been in business. We get so much repeat customer, even with just the junk removal side of things and then the demos. This is kind of took off since we got the excavator and we started advertising that. We've been getting more and more. And it's like this guy, he was referred from another guy that we demoed for. But going back to what I was saying about our pricing, our dumpster rentals for say, we charge $380 for a 14-yard dumpster. We include 1 ton. That's $145 itself right there. So off that dumpster, we'll make $200. Well, there's another guy in town that charges $600 for a 14-yard with no tonnage. So he's really charging $740. If I can do 100 dumpster rentals a year, they take me on average an hour a piece. That's an extra 20 grand in my pocket at the end of the day. And that's an hour a piece at 100, that's 2.5 weeks worth of work if you're doing 40-hour work weeks. So I don't believe that I need to charge more. I'm happy with what we're making. I'm not trying to get rich off one job. I do want to make a living. It is a company. We're here to make money. And this, making $1,000 a day sounds really good, but there is a lot of stuff that goes on top of that. There's insurance on the equipment, liability insurance and all this. So, by the time we pay everything, or just even our website to keep it up and running and advertisement, so we're not actually making $1,000 a day. That's just what we shoot for on that. So just want to say I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope this video helps someone out. I don't think it's really the normal content I want to be making, but I thought it was something cool to just bring you guys along with. It's not as interesting as actually demoing the house, but this is the backside of running a business and what you need to see, because there's not a lot of this out there. So when I was starting, I was a lot of figuring it out on myself, but there is some YouTubers that make stuff that were very helpful. So I hope this video finds somebody and is helpful. If it helps one person, it was definitely worth me making. Hopefully saves you some mistakes. Definitely try out Square. I've loved it. I've talked about switching, and a lot of these other companies are just $100 a month or $200 a month, which is great if you're this huge company, but I run a very slim company. I don't like spending money, so I just want to make money and not spend any. That's, at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. So if I can save $200, and Square's been awesome, with all their estimates and all that, and I'm not getting paid to say that obviously, but as far as starting out on, it's a great one. If we grow bigger, we might switch over to another one, but like I said, just thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.